Greetings again, my brothers and sisters of the secular order of Discalced Carmelites. Welcome. We started in the last video talking about what I wrote in this little book on Welcome to the Secular Order of Discalced Carmelites. And on page 9 of the book, I give a description of what a secular order member would be. And I repeat that again because it's pertinent for most of these talks in the beginning. I would describe a member of the secular order of Our Lady of Mount Carmel and St. Teresa of Jesus as a practicing member of the Catholic Church who, under the protection of Our Lady of Mount Carmel and inspired by St. Teresa of Jesus and St. John of the Cross, makes the commitment to the order to seek the face of God for the sake of the Church and the world. And in the last talk, I began by talking about the practicing member of the Catholic Church. I want to add a few things to that previous discussion. The first thing is that if there is a question when a Catholic is approaching, is interested in joining the second order, and there is a question about some status of that person's ability to be a practicing Catholic, it is always recommended to refer that person to the spiritual assistant. Ask the spiritual assistant to interview the person, because sometimes there may be circumstances that the person is more comfortable in talking to a priest than in talking to another layperson. There are other times when a person is more comfortable in talking to a layperson than in talking to a priest. But there has to be a conversation with everybody who approaches. We don't automatically turn away anybody, except that we understand that you have to be a practicing Catholic. And so sometimes there's a question. I have known married people who were divorced and remarried, and were remarried outside the Catholic Church, but who arrived at a point in their life when they wanted to participate in the sacraments and have made the agreement to live in such a way that they live as brother and sister, and then approach the secular order, one or the other or both, approach the secular order for ability to participate. It's not always clear if the person is able to be a practicing Catholic, but with the promise to live as brother and sister instead of to live as husband and wife, those people return to being practicing Catholics. And there are other situations that are questionable, or that you might need to refer, but always refer to the priest. The second thing I want to say, to add to the last conference on being a practicing member of the Roman Catholic Church, is by law, the secular order is a part of the Roman Catholic Church. In the front of your constitutions, right in the very front, there's a decree. It's written in Italian, but it's a decree from Cardinal Edward Martinez Somalo, the prefect of the Sacred Congregation of Religious. He, by the way, just died a few weeks ago. But in 2003, he approved your constitutions in the name of the Church. And there's the next letter after Cardinal Martinez Somalo's letter is a letter from Father Luis Arostegui, who was General Superior at the time in 2003, who introduced these constitutions to the secular order. They were approved by the Church. They're approved by the Church. There's no question. You're part of the Roman Catholic Church. So in the end, ultimately, you have to be a member of the Roman Catholic Church to be a member of the secular order of Carmel. The next section to talk about is the section on under the protection of Our Lady of Mount Carmel. And here again, there are questions. It's under the protection of Our Lady of Mount Carmel, which is a way of identifying the scapular under the protection, because we believe that Mary gives us her protection in answer to our pledge. But what do we pledge? Our Lady of Mount Carmel did not appear on Mount Carmel. That was not where the brothers, the hermits, originally got the brothers of Our Lady of Our Lady. They were brothers of Our Lady, and they were on Mount Carmel. They were brothers of Our Lady if they'd been on Mount Tabor or Mount Horeb, and then they would be brothers of Our Lady. And the particular devotion that stands out is the scapular, and what the scapular means as a place for the secular order members. At the beginning of your formation, you're given the scapular to guide you in the way of the formation in this organization. And for most secular order communities, when you make your final definitive promise, you're given a bigger scapular to wear as a ceremonial. What does it pledge? There are many devotions to Our Lady, many beautiful devotions to Our Lady. The Rosary, certainly the highest, most highly recommended devotion to Our Lady in the Catholic Church is the Rosary, and the scapular is number two probably. But there are many devotions. There's our devotion to Our Lady of Lourdes. I've been to Lourdes. It's breathtaking. It's emotional for me. I've been to Fatima. It's moving. I've never been to Medjugorje, but many people have been to Medjugorje. But it's not Our Lady of Lourdes, and it's not Our Lady of Fatima, and it's not Our Lady of Medjugorje. That is the inspiration, the protection that we seek. It's not a message. We don't want revelations. We want the very silent Our Lady of Mount Carmel. In St. Luke's Gospel, in two places in the second chapter, St. Luke makes a note on Mary and says that Mary observed everything and meditated on them in her heart. Meditated in her heart. Our devotion to Mary is certainly wearing the scapular, and certainly saying the Rosary. If you have time to say the Rosary daily, every day, well, good, that's very good. But our primary devotion to Mary is meditation. To meditate in our hearts as she meditated in her heart. As I mentioned, there's Our Lady of Mount Carmel, there's Our Lady of Lourdes, Our Lady of Fatima, Our Lady of Medjugorje. But I've been to some groups that have become too concerned with messages from Our Lady of Medjugorje and not enough concerned about hearing God speak to them in their heart in meditation. So, sometimes somebody comes to the secular order and they're very devoted to Our Lady. And that's one of the reasons that they want to wear the scapular. And the reason they want to wear the scapular is because of their love for Our Lady. Be wise in the discernment of this person's vocation. If they also come and convert the group into a group that's concerned about Our Lady of Garabandal, or some other devotion that's not really approved by the Roman Catholic Church, it can ruin the community. So there's a need to be very focused on the formation of the Marian formation of our members. We are devoted to Our Lady because she is our model for prayer. We're not marrying because we pray to Mary. We are marrying because we pray like Mary. Meditation in the heart. Thank you. Don't forget, please, to hit the subscribe button if you want to subscribe. If you do subscribe, hit also the little bell that's next to it, which is an alarm, which when there's a new one of these videos, you'll get a message that there is a video. And hit the like button. So the subscription, notification, like. God bless you, and we will meet again.